Hi, everybody. Welcome to News at Noon, August 14th. My name is Dee Davey. I'm filling in for Patrice today. She has a couple of other meetings, so she's asked me to lead the meeting. And we have a packed agenda, as always. We will have a little bit of shift in agenda, so be prepared if you've received an agenda in advance. There might be some modifications and a little bit of jumping around. And with that, I would like to introduce our second speaker in lieu of our first at the moment, Sheree Ritchie. Sheree is our co-chair of our legislative committee. She's our events manager, and she's an all-round one of the hardest workers we have in our organization. Sheree, you have a couple of topics that you'll be covering for us today, so I would like to pass over to you once you've unmuted. Thank you, Sheree.
Thank you, Dee. And yes, I am Sheree Ritchie. If we haven't met yet, and hopefully we will on the trail, been part of the organization for 3.5 years now. So yes, it's a labor of love, is it not? So much to fight for. One of the key things I want to talk about today is a really terrific effort that we launched just a couple of weeks ago. It is called the Pledge Michigan U.S. Citizens Elections Bill of Rights, dubbed as CBOR by Patrice, an acronym, CBOR, Citizens Elections Bill of Rights. And what this is a document that it was written by PIME volunteers in conjunction with the Election Integrity Network, and it's been detailed for just Michigan only. For what our wants and desires are here in Michigan for having our elections be free and fair and secure going forward, restoring our election integrity. And what we want to do with this pledge is we want to offer it to candidates that we know to review it and sign it, which then is pledging their personal commitment to protecting and defending truly safe and secure elections that can be trusted, properly verified, properly audited when needed. And it includes bullet points, many bullets. It's a 5-page document, and there's a lot of bullet points contained in there, which many of us are very well aware of, and we have knowledge of what is good and what is not so good. Some bullet points like free from foreign interference, no foreign-made voting equipment or software, require that the number of voters equals the number of ballots equals the number of votes, prohibit the sharing of DMV data with any third party or non-governmental entity. And there's so much more than that in this document. It's really quite fascinating to read. So if you know of a candidate in your county or district that you'd like to present this pledge to, all you need to do is call me or email me, and I will send you the document and the instructions that you need to roll it out, and then provide it a signed copy back to us. And we're going to be posting these on the Pure Integrity Michigan Elections website. So it's going to be very important for candidates to show that they are on board with what we need as citizens for free and fair elections. So I'll post my email and phone number in the chat as soon as I'm off my time. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, I think I sent it to you already, Shelley, but I'll check, okay? Anyway, sorry, I wanted to talk about the Volunteer Appreciation Picnic, which is coming up on September the 6th. It's a Saturday. It's in Howell, Michigan. And whoever if Kelsey's on the call, if she's not, she will be later, I think, and she can post the invitation to the picnic. So we have a lovely pavilion arranged. It overlooks a little lake. It's really pleasant, and bring a dish to share. It's a potluck picnic. And we're going to have some great food, obviously, and great fellowship, but we're also going to have some very important awards and recognition given to many of the attendees who come. So it's a very special event, and we want everybody to come. We'll put that in the chat as well. again, just call me or email me about the picnic as well, and I can certainly help get you hooked up with that. So any questions at all? There's the invitation. Thank you. Any questions at all about the picnic or the pledge? I'm happy to answer.
Sheree, this is Dee. I have a question on the Citizens Election Bill of Rights candidates. Are the candidates limited to a certain range of candidates? Or if you could explain the scope of candidates that we are looking to encourage to sign the pledge, that would be a good help.
Certainly. And I think that, to keep in mind, this is going to be candidates that are going to have the ability and influence to affect our laws and here in the state of Michigan. So it would be state legislators, gubernatorial candidates, Secretary of State candidates, AG candidates, county commissioner candidates, because they can do resolutions within their county. I'm not sure how many levels, smaller than that would be effective. Like a school board person wouldn't really have effect on our election laws, but hopefully that was helpful.
That is very helpful, Sheree. And perhaps in some of the follow-up documentation that you and Rosemary are working on, provide a guideline of candidates that we need to reach out to, because some of us are a little more au fait with the range of candidates and others are not. And that would be a great guidance for us. So appreciate everything that you and Rosemary are doing on this project. Great.
All the documents are done. All the documents are completed and ready to be sent out. But that is a very good point that we probably should include, and I can certainly edit that and just put a little bullet point of the type of candidates that we are interested in seeing their support for what we, the citizens, want in our Michigan elections. Thank you, Dee.
Okay, great. Again, jumbling up our schedule just a little bit.
I had
not.
a question.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
yes.
sorry. Could I?
Oh, yes,
I'll
Shelley.
take my hand down in a minute. I'm so sorry. I wondered if there is going to be a number one, what do we do with the forms? We get them back to you folks, and thank you, Sheree and Rosemary. Do we return them back to you? Number two, will there be a list of candidates who have already signed it or been approached or said no, whatever, so that we don't hassle the same people?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. When you ask me for the pledge, I'll email you the instructions and it'll tell you exactly what to do with the pledge, how to get photos, and what to send back to me. It's all going to be detailed in there. And then once we get the page set up in PIME, which I know is in the works right now on the PIME website, you'll be able to see the candidates that have signed, as long as we've gotten their permission. But we'll have to work out probably a more detailed list as they come in, and those who may refuse for whatever reason. So we would want to know that. But yeah, that's good, Shelley. I'll tweak that as well. Thanks.
And Kelsey, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to comment on the volunteer appreciation picnic. There was some concern about the parking fee and credit card kiosk. Just wanted to clarify there is free street parking about a quarter-mile walk, and it's an unmanned kiosk. So please don't let that be a deterrent for you attending. Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Thank you for that, Kelsey.
Carpool.
That's another great suggestion, to carpool. Super. Okay, moving on. Darlene Hennessy will be our next speaker if she would like to prepare and unmute. Darlene is one of our multi-talented superstars who has been leading in Wayne County. She coordinates nationally on several election integrity working groups and does more in an hour than I think I do in a day. So Darlene, I would like to invite you on to give us an update on some of the work that's going on and in your coordinating role with Election Integrity Network national working groups, and also to give us an update on ranked choice voting. Over to you, Darlene.
Thanks,
Dee, very much for that. So yes, I just came from the Citizens Only in U.S. Politics and Voting from the Election Integrity Network meeting. They talked mostly about today about August is Only Citizens Vote Month, and Tea Party Patriots will be up at the Capitol on September 3rd at 10 a.m. on the west steps of the Capitol. They're bringing their bus. They're on a bus tour. I don't remember the number of bus tour stops they have. They'll be culminating at the end and September 10th at Washington, D.C. So they'll be there. They're going to be speaking, have speakers there and stuff like that. So that if you can make it, that'd be great. So Election Integrity Network has 7 active working groups. Each of the groups meet twice a month, except one of them, and they all focus on various aspects of election integrity. They are led by very knowledgeable leaders, and we also have had guest speakers today. We had the Tea Party Patriots, Jeff Davis was there, and then a woman from Project Civica, and they're located in New York, and they're also partnering with this Only Citizens Vote and the SAVE Act. They're trying to promote the SAVE Act, so get people to sign and pass that SAVE Act. So anyway, Sheree mentioned about the Michigan, the U.S. Bill of Rights, and it originated, like she said, from the EIN group, and then they adapted it to the Michigan. So our organization, Michigan Fair Election Institute, is a state coalition underneath the EIN umbrella. So each working group shares valuable information, assigns us tasks to participating states. The goal is to develop model state legislation and sound policy recommendations to help ensure our elections are fair, secure, and trustworthy. And from there, we can work within our own state to advocate for improvements. We are given assignments, and we share all of the information on SharePoint. It's if you're attending any of the groups, then you will be given access to go into SharePoint, where we find our assignments. We also find what we can rewatch or read the transcript of what happened at a particular meeting, and then we will be able to upload our homework to there, and then they're going to be compiling all of that, so we know what every state, or not every, but the states that are participating in this, we know what they're doing. And it's been very helpful to know what other states are doing and the problems and the way they solve their problems and obstacles that they come across. So I have found it very helpful. And so with that, we have homework, and sometimes it's a little bit much for one person to do. And so Elizabeth Bonner and I are going to be setting up in Base Camp a group for the national working groups where we will be working on our homework and organizing with each other, so that we don't all have to do so much work. So they gave us the people who are attending. I also have an active list from earlier in this year. So if you haven't received an email from Elizabeth yet regarding the working group you may be attending, please drop your email address in the chat, or if you don't want to, I'll put my email in the chat, or Elizabeth, and we will please contact us so that you can get on board with that. Okay, on to ranked choice voting. So ranked choice voting, Rank My Vote is having some town halls yet. Bedford is in Monroe County in Temperance, Michigan on this evening. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It was this morning. So we missed that one. It's actually going on right now. August 16th is in Bloomfield Town Hall is in Bloomfield Township. I believe our fearless Jeff is going to be attending that. And then September 9th at 6 to 7 p.m. in the Charlevoix Library. And there's also one going to be on September 10th in East Point. And the reason we're trying to attend those is to ask questions, see what they come up with their answers, because someone told me yesterday they were at the Dearborn homecoming festival we have, and a person came up to have her sign the petition for Rank My Vote, and she asked, well, doesn't this do away with straight party tickets? And she goes, no, I don't think so. She goes, yes, it does. She goes, you're kidding. I didn't know that. So here they are having people that don't know the answer to questions. So it's good for us to go and find out what they do know and whether or not they're reporting accurate information. I had the honor to be out at Allegan County and spoke with some people from 3 different counties there this past week on Monday evening. And thank you. I think Ben's on the call. Thank you very much, Ben, for having me. I really thought the group was very interested, and I hope I was able to give them a lot of information. So we're still working on shorter versions of our handouts to give out at fairs and things like that. Once they're completed, they will be found on Basecamp. We don't have anybody to pay for mass production of these handouts, so at this time, people or groups are responsible for their own printing costs. We will be having town halls coming up, and it will be right now. Sheree, me, and Jeff will be doing some of these town halls, and if anybody's interested in possibly learning or feels they're able to do that and good speaker and you want to help out, please drop your name in the chat so we can contact you. One of the things I did find out is clerks played a big part in Oregon's vote, Rank My Vote. I'm sorry, it wasn't called that out there. I forget what theirs was, but the ranked choice vote for 24, and they created a pack. They had a lot of information, and I'm looking for someone, if they are available, to help write some letters out to different places. I've been taking and doing a bunch of letter writing, and if anybody can do some letter writing to help me get information or ask questions of people in different states and things, so that I don't have to do as much of that on my own. If you are interested in doing that, I'll explain what I need and put your name in the chat as well. But anyway, their pack was called Concerned Election Officials, and they didn't tell people how to vote, but they told them and explained to them what their challenges were with this kind of voting. I've met with the Dearborn clerk, and we'll be meeting with Mike Segrist. He is the vice president of Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks, and he is very much against ranked choice voting, and I'm meeting him Tuesday, and he's very interested in finding out ways that the clerks can maybe able to take part in this endeavor. Biggest thing that the Oregon people told them was it was eroding local control and transparency. Majority, everything's going to be handled. Your first vote goes through your jurisdiction. If there's nobody made a 51% at that point, all of the votes get sent to the Secretary of State for the remainder of the tabulations. Tabulations are not taking place at your local jurisdiction or your county. So, and that's all done up there, and it takes, in Maine, if it takes 2 days to get them to, so in Maine, it's a small state, takes them 2 days to get all of their paperwork to their capital. And then it takes 2 weeks or more to get their results. And that's Maine. So anybody have any questions? Oh, and if you want to join, if you'd want to join anything in the election integrity group, I will put the election integrity national working group website in there. Yes.
Darlene, thank you so much for that update, both on the election integrity working groups and ranked choice voting. Helpful to have that contact information in our chat, along with the URL that people can get more information. Thank you so much for your outstanding work, as always. Okay, next on our agenda, every week we award an all-star. And unfortunately, our all-star isn't joining us today, but I know several people on the call work closely with Christy Like. Christy has been an all-star within Michigan Fair Elections and Pure Integrity Michigan for as long as I can remember. She is part of a tight-knit volunteer machine in Saline, Michigan. She just puts her hands to just about any supportive role that we ask her or her joint team to tackle. Bill Hammond is a close ally along with Alberta Borneo, and they get involved in many, many things behind the scenes, just tackling everything that we can do to bring sunlight to some of the clouds that have overshadowed us. She also advocates for other volunteer organizations, so we appreciate the time that she gives us in election integrity. So Christy Like is our All-Star Volunteer Award winner this week. Bill Hammond will be sending out a certificate, letter of recognition, and the gold coin, a gold coin recognition award, a facsimile of something that Jeff is showing on the screen. So hand claps for Christy. We appreciate you. And hopefully, Bill, you can ask Christy to tune in and review the recording of this broadcast so that she can be recognized fully. So thank you. Thank you for that.
I will speak to her. She's been having trouble with her communications with WebEx, and I was going to get a hold of Isaac and had that time too. So that's why she's not with us today.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Bill. So on that note, I'm going to move on to Mark Smith, our Benzie chapter role model for citizens engagement. Mark, if you could touch on just, maybe a few topics. We don't have much time, but, maybe, what's going on with ranked choice voting or clerk relationships or citizens only voting, whatever you fancy.
Well, what I'd fancy is just to say, my oh my, what a band of warriors that have assembled here. So I see on the call we have Vicki Schwartz and Jennifer Brogley from our Benzie County team. So they're going to hold me accountable for how much I vary from the truth up here. But in all seriousness, I remember when this group started, you could fit all the people on one screen. And now if you take a look at the people involved, we have people talking about things at the state level, the federal level, all the way down to Blaine Township, which is 497 voters, which is where I vote. So you should all give yourself a big pat on the back. The vertical integration that's occurred in this effort is astounding. And we are blessed to take the fruits of all that work and apply that in such a small set of voters. We have, depending on who you ask, if you ask the US Census, we have 16,000 and change. If you ask Jennifer Brogley, who's on this call, who's works on the qualified voter file, and Vicki Schwartz, it's somewhere in 15,000. So we're aggressively approaching that as other counties are. But what we found is that our biggest job is to be a force multiplier. And I think that's part of the people on this call. That's what you all do. That's what I do. And we can take this wealth of information that's disseminated every Thursday at noon, and you've got 6 days then to play with it, work with it. You don't have to do a lot, but what we've done in Benzie County is we're just trying to move the ball a little bit every day. So in that sense, we've taken the ranked choice voting. We took the palm cards, printed them, handed them to our friends in Grand Traverse. They distributed those at the Northwest Michigan Fair. They handed out hundreds of those. Joyfield Township has the ranked choice voting resolution on their docket. Jimmy Evans, who's actually part of our Benzie chapter, is the township supervisor. He will be presenting that at their September meeting. Sheree Ritchie, I saw you on the call. I wished I would have seen you at the beach in Alberta because it's been remodeled and it's beautiful. And you stiffed me and Dan Carter, so we're not going to let that go. But Sheree was on board.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah, talk is cheap, girlfriend. I believe that when I see you at Storm
I'll be
Cloud.
back. I'm a
So
beach girl.
yeah. No, what we're doing should be fun. These are great people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We've all got your back. But what Dan Carter's doing is he's got himself elected as a township supervisor in Gilmore, which is our smallest township. But he's been part of our ranked choice voting team. And so Rochelle was going to come up and we were going to have a meeting. And I think Gilmore Township was afraid we were going to outnumber them. So we rest assured we'll have that conversation. If we don't do it there, we'll do it at Joyfield. But we also have, as Jennifer and Vicky know, we have a good relationship with all 13 clerks. I would encourage everybody to just don't look too big. Your counties are huge. Ours is tiny. So we are fortunate that when we work in our county, we're working in an area that might represent just a minuscule portion of Wayne or Macomb. But the principle is the same. Get to know your clerk, get to know your neighbor. That's how this is done. And pick up some information here every Thursday and take that back out in the street. So we're going to be, I know Jennifer and Vicky are cringing, but we're going to be at the Coho Festival Parade. And part of what we'll be doing is waiving our citizens only vote. We'll be collecting petitions after the parade. It doesn't have to be hard work. It's fun work. Sue Weber, who's on our group, she actually combines hot dogs, prayers, and politics. So we bring them in with hot dogs and we show them the petition and we go from there. So Dee, we are having a lot of fun. Benzie County's alive and well. We consider ourselves the tip of the spear because we're very small, so we can have a bigger impact per person. So we're just blessed to be engaged in this process. And if there's any questions, or if you want us to come and bug your chapters or your members, careful what you ask for. We'll probably come and do it. So yeah, that's what's going on up. And it's a beautiful sunny day, and I was out fishing on the dock with the grandkids. So yeah, I see you, Sheree Ritchie. Yeah. So yeah,
Mark,
any questions, feel free.
I don't see any hands up, Mark, but thank you so much. And I think it's really encouraging for people to
Oh,
hear
I see Tim.
how they can actually make a difference at their local level. It's that one-on-one personal interaction with your neighbors and educating people on a one-to-one basis that makes a huge difference, because we tell someone, they tell someone, that someone tells someone else. And that's how we get our local communities engaged in a real sense. So thank you for sharing that, Mark. Very much appreciated.
Absolutely. Consider yourself a force multiplier. I know Jennifer's got a bunch of people up here in Benzie. I know Vicky does. But yeah, it should be fun, and I can't wait to get Sheree Ritchie up here. We'll go to the storm cloud and we'll bring some people in, talk ranked choice voting. So yeah, thanks, Dee.
Thank you, Mark. Next on our agenda, we have Seth Keshel. Seth has been an election integrity advocate working for free and fair elections for years. And PIME has the Pure Integrity Michigan, PIME, has the privilege of having him on board to advocate for veterans education in our UVOTE program, which is our underserved voter outreach team efforts. So Seth, I would like to turn the mic over to you. If you could give us an update on what progress you've made, what you need from us as advocates to help educate veterans in the underserved outreach program. Over to you, Seth.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dee. This is in the interest of time and also content. This will be a pretty short stint. First off, hello to everybody. A lot of you know me from the trail elsewhere and have emailed me over. So I appreciate you welcoming me to the team. I've known a lot of people in Michigan for quite a while. In the last month, since I came on board, I've contributed a couple articles, been embedded with the deep team, especially Tim Vetter, reviewing data and findings. There's some pretty substantial issues with data in Macomb County and also a township in Oakland County, which I think once we get it all glossed over, will be made public. It's a serious issue, and really it underscores what the major problem is nationally, that there is no transparency in our elections process. Transparency is what is going to enhance public trust. And once we have elections that people can trust, we're much more likely to be satisfied with the results of those, even if it's not who we want. I heard the points about ranked choice voting. Definitely a massive thing that has to be forwarded as part of our public message. Also, places that have had ranked choice voting in the municipal level, San Francisco, the Twin Cities is a really good example. Turnout has actually gone down. It's supposed to increase turnout. It's supposed to give people more choices, but of course, it always boils down to strategic voting. And over time, the people still don't understand the process, and they still vote strategically to prevent the party they don't want from getting in there. So really, with the cost of that and the time allotted to counting, it's definitely correct. So as for UVOTE, I've made progress on this, and I'm expecting probably with Patrice in maybe the next week. I'm waiting on a phone call. An organization in Michigan called VetLife, VETLIFE. The executive leader of that organization, his name is Joshua Parrish. I shared the UVOTE slides and mission with him. He said it aligns perfectly with his strategic objectives in his organization. So I think that there's going to be an opportunity for a partnership with VetLife, and they've got some pretty good branches all throughout the state. So I think that this will be able to increase the number of veterans taking advantage of the voting process, and hopefully will yield people that are interested in getting involved in local elections leadership. There are definitely challenges here. Some of these organizations are bound tightly by not being able to be an ideological organization. So the message is going to have to be properly tailored so as not to make people want to get off of the hook if they think that it's overly aligned with a certain political objective. That is my update for the week.
Thank you so much, Seth. We have a question or a comment from Mary Moylan. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Mary, from Gladwin. Your hand was up. You're muted, Mary. Okay, well, perhaps, Mary, you can put your question or comment in the chat. Seth, thank you so much. We're glad to have you part of the team. And once you have your program really nailed down, communicating that to us within the organization will help us help you engage our veterans in our local community. So we're looking forward to working with you on that program as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay. To close us out, I now want to turn the mic over to Ron Armstrong, president of Stand Up Michigan. And he is an amazing leader on multiple Save America initiatives. Ron, you've been a friend and advocate for election integrity and for Michigan Fair Elections and Pure Integrity Michigan forever. Ron, thank you so much. I'm so pleased to give you some time. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Thank you. Well, I want to spend some time today because of our all of the issues that we are working on, election integrity and general conservative principles and issues. We must engage with the people, and I love the direction that this went when we started talking about how important the local efforts are. It's all about local. We always say elections are always local, but what we really have seen, especially, which is a big benefit to us, is where the trust factor lies. So I wanted to share with you some latest polling information on trust and reported accurate election information and where people get it from and what they trust and what they don't. So the first thing I'd like to say is that when they get information from family or friends, people that they know, they are around 70% likely to believe and trust, which means that they will remember and repeat the information that is shared with them. 70%. We've now moved down to poll results. Republicans are at about a 40% level of believing any poll information that we get. Even the Democrats are just over 50%. News media. On the Republican side, it's down to 25% of us trusting anything we see from traditional news. That's newspapers. That's certainly any news, basically, wherever you happen to get it. Television is certainly a part of that. This was an interesting one because only, I'm going to say 2 cycles ago, social media was the place that we utilized, especially on the conservative side, to attempt or believe in sharing our information, podcasts. It's where we get our information. But right now, under social media, and we all know why, right? Censorship, you name it. Republicans are in the neighborhood of 18% of the people believe what they hear in regard to election information and on social media. And political campaigns, it is only, that means politicians, by the way, or that means TV commercials or anywhere else you might happen to see it. Republicans, again, are around the 20% level of believing anything that they hear from politicians, which means we cannot depend on politicians to carry the messages. We cannot depend on, and we should not depend on, and we should not spend our resources on a bunch of television ads in bad districts with bad messaging that we have. It really comes back down to our local community. So what I want to take off from that information is to talk to you about the sales process. My background in 40 years is messaging and marketing. One of the biggest sales tools that we have when we train salespeople is that once you have the sale, stop selling. Once they commit to buying your product or service, stop. I think it's important for us in the election integrity space, as well as the conservative space, to identify that once we have a person on board with us, committed to what we're talking about, willing to take an action and or get involved on an area, an issue, a project that they have, leave it there. Don't continue to use more data, more statistics that they won't remember, that they won't repeat, and that is likely to confuse them overall. It's not going to confuse maybe their commitment, but I'll tell you what it does do. The reason that's important is oftentimes we are giving our information in a group of people. It could be at a meeting, it could be at a church, it could be at a social function, it might be at a place where we have a table for a county chapter or whatever it is. It is important that we reach as many people as we can when we are at those events, which means that you can't spend 45 minutes with one person trying to change their mind when you have the ability to reach over half the people there if you simply use the proper approach. The final thing I want to talk about is messaging. Messages are like a toolbox. In other words, we need to have a toolbox of messages for each area and meeting and event that we go to or as an organization. The reason I say that is that toolbox, you are going to look at that toolbox and identify, just like we do with projects, which tool do I need to be most effective in accomplishing my goal? I say that because you need to look at these messages based on who is receiving that message. Is it a family member? Is it a young person? And that message is likely to be, or the question you ask them, which leads me to my last point about messages, that is, you need to use the right messages for the right audience. And the final thing is let's, instead of giving facts and demanding actions based on our knowledge and information, instead, I would urge you to ask questions. When you ask questions, think of the Bible again, you ask questions. When you ask a question, first of all, as a person's passing, they feel more inclined to answer the question, which leads them to where you want to take them. So in other words, when you ask somebody who's voting, do you usually vote straight party ticket? Now we know that almost 80% of the people do that. Guess what? It leads you to ranked choice voting. Well, guess what? With ranked choice voting, it ends that. Do you believe that in Michigan, that whoever gets the most votes wins? That's the way it's always been, right? In ranked choice voting, that isn't the case. You don't have to go very far down a question and answer process to get people to say, I'm against that. And guess what? They will repeat that over and over to everyone they run into or talk to. We don't have to get into the minutia of other things, the confusion, the whatever it is, the multiple counting. The last thing and again, it's in the same area of relevance, is all of these efforts, if you'll notice, are to remove local control of elections, mail-in voting, 45 days of in-person, which now are off of a local precinct and or area and are taken to a county level in rural Michigan, for instance. Now we look at the counting of the votes, mail-in votes. What happens with those absentee votes? They're counted at centers where they control the process instead of it being controlled at the local process. And I believe that we can become the champion of clerks. And for older people and young alike, we should be controlling and know the process and the results of our local elections at a local precinct, We should not be dependent on those being transferred over and being counted by somebody else that we have not elected, appointed, and do not trust. So those are the things. There's a lot more to talk about, but I wanted to give you some things. So as you go into this, don't be overwhelmed. Bring it back down to a level where a question and an answer can lead you to the next. And by the way, if they answer one question like, oh, I don't vote a straight ticket, party ticket vote. Okay, then ask the next question. Do you believe the person with the most votes should win? Have the rest of those tools available if needed, but stop when you get the right answer because you can move on to the next person. That's my tip for today.
Oh, awesome. Ron, thank you so much for that. I just want to follow on with a practical example of your asking questions that are being applied to the citizens only vote amendment. So the talking points that the citizens only vote group has put out to help us lead into a yes answer to sign the petition. Do you believe that only U.S. citizens should vote in Michigan in local elections? Do you believe that non-citizens should be removed from Michigan voter rolls? Do you believe that people should have to show a photo ID? If yes, please sign our petition. But as you say, if you hook them with the first question and you've got them on the hook, stop there, don't bury yourself, and get them to take an action. Excellent points, Ron. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions in the chat or hands up for you, Ron. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate your guidance and wisdom and insight. So to close us out, I'm going to ask Isaac to fill in for Randy Schiffer and play the latest of our video recordings. So Isaac, anytime you're ready, if you could share your screen and run the video for us.
Yep, one moment. Now, let me know if the audio doesn't come through. It should.
We see the screen.
Hello, team. Video production update for PIME. So, if anyone hasn't had a chance to check it out yet, this is the PIME Rumble channel. All of the News at Noon videos, as well as additional podcast discussions and election integrity focused videos get uploaded to the PIME Rumble channel. So yeah, feel free to check this out. If you have a Rumble account, of course, we would appreciate if you hit that follow button so you can see all of the newest videos when they get published. So yeah, we've got a lot of good videos on this channel. As I mentioned, the News at Noon videos, and we also have hearings at the Michigan legislature and committee hearings on election integrity that get posted to this channel. So yeah, hitting the like button on the videos, following the channel, leaving comments, all of these actions will help the algorithm to spread awareness and spread the reach of these videos on the Rumble platform to raise awareness on election integrity. And of course, driving towards the ultimate goal of restoring election integrity back into Michigan elections and elections across the whole country as well. So there's also this Rumble channel. This is the Michigan Fair Elections Institute Rumble channel. A number of election integrity focused videos also get uploaded to this channel. Of course, we would appreciate it if you have a Rumble account to follow the channel, hit likes on the videos, leave comments. All of this is very helpful to spread the reach and raise awareness on election integrity. And here's the Detroit Warehouse Watch Party summary. Of course, I was involved with this project. So this is from the recent November 2024 election. If you haven't had a chance, yeah, that's a good video. There's some other great videos on this channel that are worth checking out. So finally, we have a YouTube channel for peer integrity in Michigan elections. We started this one relatively recently. We've got a number of videos uploaded, and we're growing this channel, reaching a new audience who may spend their time on YouTube. So yeah, if you have the opportunity, of course, we would appreciate hitting likes on these videos, following this YouTube channel. These actions will help the algorithm spread the reach of the videos, raise awareness on election integrity and on peer integrity in Michigan elections. So, yeah, have a good day.
Isaac, thank you for running that video. Randy Schiffer is our original ghost catcher, and we're so blessed to have his technical expertise to help us animate our messaging and to amplify our messaging through the videos that he's been working with other members of our team to produce. So in closing out, thank you all for joining us, especially Representative Smith for taking time out of her schedule to share with our groups what's going on in Lansing. A final reminder, we are a volunteer organization. We're always looking to engage new volunteers or volunteers in new ways, and donations are always welcome because much of the work that we do costs hard dollars, and we need to engage donors on a continual level. So thank you all for joining News at Noon. We'll see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Have a great rest of your day.